We are welcoming the children for our children's time. So kids come up. Oh, never mind, just stay where you are. Anyway, I'm David Radcliff. We just had Earth Day this week. Very special time for us to think about this beautiful planet God has given us and all the creatures that are here. Except one little problem. There's only half as many creatures on the Earth as there were when I was your age. Where have they all gone? We're going to take a little trip around the world to find out for ourselves. So here we go. So to start off in Africa, when we think of animals and some of the ones that are in danger, we certainly think of elephants. People hunt them for their tusks. There are lots fewer elephants in Africa than there used to be, but the elephants aren't dumb. They realize humans have to come out hunting during the daytime, so the elephants are doing more and more stuff at night just to stay hidden. Pretty smart there, I think. There are some giraffe. Couple of really good things about, we saw these just last May actually in Akagera National Park in Rwanda. Couple nice things about being tall. One, you can reach the leaves at the tops of the trees to eat. Secondly, you can keep an eye out for the predators that might be coming somewhere in the grasses. Speaking of which, there goes a gazelle running. Must have seen something. Oh, look, there are some lions. Lions are in trouble too, actually. People are moving into their territory, which sort of makes the lions upset, except people bring cows and goats with them, like the farming, which the lions kind of like. They like the meat. Well, the people don't like them killing their cows and goats, so they'll sometimes kill the lions. There was a boy in Kenya who liked both the lions and his own family's cows and goats. He thought, what can I do? He realized whenever somebody would come to his village with a torch, in Africa that's a flashlight, or a car with headlights, the lions would run. He got a bright idea. He put LED bulbs that blink. He hooked them up around the cattle pen and put them on blink mode all through the night. Keeps the lions away. The cattle are safe. They all lived happily ever after. All right, here, there are also tropical rainforests. Maybe you didn't know this, maybe you did. Tropical rainforests in Africa. This is in the Congo rainforest. It is inhabited by all kinds of fascinating creatures, including gorilla. There's the baby, there's the daddy, there's the mama making faces at you. And when you laugh at the mama, the daddy go charge you. That's what happens. Gorillas have some problems too. People are cutting roads into their forest areas, which is really not good for these beautiful forests. Plus they go in and cut down the trees, sometimes hunt the animals, that sort of stuff. One of the things we're doing at New Community Project is trying to plant back lots of trees. In Africa altogether this coming year, we'll probably plant about, through our friends there, about 65,000 trees. Yeah. So let's head to, Alaska. That's in the United States. As you know, we're camping at Savage River Campground. We go out and explore. We see things. We're down by the river one time. The river's making a lot of noise. We didn't hear this moose approach. There's a big daddy moose right beside us. It was just having its lunch and keeping an eye on us. Not everything in the world that's important is big. Can you see the small caterpillar on this branch? It has camouflaged itself to look just like the leaf to hide from its predator, which might be birds that want to eat it. So all kinds of creatures are very smart in figuring out how to stay alive. This is the footprint that belongs to a certain wild creature in Denali National Park in Alaska. There is the creature. It came and let us take its picture for like 5 minutes and then came back that night howling outside our campground. Yeah. There's a pack of wolves. Can you see them just above middle there? The black one on the far left, the silver, and a gray on the far right. Actually, there's only half as many wolves in Denali National Park as when I first started going there with groups about 15 years ago. They go outside the park, sometimes by mistake, and hunters will shoot them. So that's a bit of a problem there. There we are. There's some people you might know, actually. And I'm not as short as I look in this picture. But anyway, we hike this one mountain every year when we go called Mount Margaret. We get up there. We almost always see Dall sheep. They're kind of cute. In fact, that's why Denali National Park was created by the United States government, to protect Dall sheep, because they were being hunted and were almost gone. But now they came back strong. Speaking of coming back strong, there's a big daddy Dall sheep, which chased my son Daniel off the mountain one time. Yeah. And then it came after my son's dad. That would be me. Yeah. But it's his home. It has a right to protect its home. We shouldn't have been up there so close, maybe. There's a caribou. It's having lunch, actually. They eat lichen, which is like a small moss that grows on the ground. Well, even in the wintertime, they eat the lichen. You can see on the front of the caribou's snout, there's like a front, the antler has like a front part there, like a little shovel on the front. It uses it to go down through the snow in the wintertime to get the lichen to eat down under the snow. Except now in Alaska, it's getting warm and cold through the winter. So the snow is getting like a frozen crust on top. It's harder for the caribou to get down through the snow to get their food. So when we warm up the world, we're causing problems for creatures everywhere. Up further north, you see this is like the North Pole. It's also melting, which of course is problems for the polar bears. They're trying to live off the ice to hunt the things they need to live, and sometimes they have to swim a long ways, which is making it more and more difficult for them and their babies. In fact, Danielle thought this is a very serious situation for the polar bears. How are the mothers going to take care of their babies if the ice keeps melting? So she actually drew me a picture. There's a mother polar bear with a sad face standing not on the ice, but on the water. We have to care about these things, kids. Off to Nepal in Asia, there's the highest mountain in the world, Mount Everest. We're taking a little wildlife trip here. This is our last stop on our global tour. A little wildlife trip down a river to see what we can see. There's an egret that got spooked by us. There is a langur monkey. There are all kinds of fascinating monkeys all over the world. There's a mother elephant and baby. And you know elephants are in trouble for getting killed sometimes, but in this park they're really protecting them. Crocodiles, don't worry, they're pescatarians, which does not mean they just eat pests. It means they just eat fish. But they're having a problem because when the crocodiles lay eggs, because they are reptiles, whether it's going to be a boy or a girl when it hatches out depends on the temperature of the air around it. If it's warmer, it's going to be a girl. If it's cooler, it's going to be a boy, because we all know boys are cool. Anyway, they're having trouble having more boys hatch out these days because the temperatures are getting warmer, so there are more girl crocodiles being hatched. One-horned rhino, otherwise known as Rhinoceros unicornis. Yeah, they've been endangered because people hunt them for their horns. There were only 100 left at one point in this part of Nepal. Now there's 600 because they're getting protected really well. The last creature we're going to see on our little tour is not this one. This is actually I know the name of this, but anyway, take my word for it. It's an animal, and it also has big ears to listen out for a certain predator. There's the footprint of the predator. That's as close as we ever get to a Bengal tiger, but I got a picture off the web. Whoops! There's supposed to be a Bengal tiger right there after this picture. I must have somehow not gotten that in. You can imagine what a Bengal tiger looks like. So what we've got to do is protect all these things. There are some kids who live not too far from you who have their Earth Care t-shirts on, and you can see it says, just one, be kind. We need to be kind to this good Earth, kids. People like me, old people, haven't taken such good care of things. It's going to be up to you to take care of the beautiful earth that God has given us.